So I'm in there waiting for Brooks in my little wheelchair, and there's moms just going out with their babies left and right. And I'm sitting here with like all my flowers and balloons, and I'm just like, no kid though. And I just felt, I know no one was like looking at me because everyone's having their own moment. But I just felt like, oh man, like this sucks. Like, and I cried the whole way home.
I was gonna say, mentally that had to be so difficult.
That was the, and I do then I take a step back and go, Jenna, there are mothers who literally have this experience and don't get to go back for their babies.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Certified Oversharer. I'm your host, Samantha Busch, and today I'm so excited. I have Jena Sims Koepka on. She is the ultimate girl boss. So I've followed her for years on social, and I feel like I'm living the same life in the NASCAR world that she is in the golf world, because she supports her husband, she's a mom, but she has never lost her own identity. So I am so excited to get into this discussion. Here we go, guys. Thank you so much for coming on today. I literally feel like I've known you for years because I've followed you, and you are incredible. I think what I love about you is not only your personality and your passion, but we're very similar in that you just put it out there, and I freaking love it.
I put it out there, and I don't even realize sometimes that people follow me, and that can be a good and a bad thing, because I literally do put it all out there, and I feel like we do share that. And that's also why I look up to you.
I love that. You're on Certified Oversharer, so I think we're going to get right into it. I want to start, I had this list of where I was going to start, but because ever since I started following you, I've been dying to know, can you give me everything top to bottom about Sports Illustrated? I want to know how you got into it, what it's like at the shoots, walking. I mean, it is so incredible, and you look so freaking hot doing it. I need all the details.
Thank you. It was a lifelong dream, just like pretty much everybody that, is involved in the brand. It's something that we've all wanted since we were little girls, walking into Publix with my mom and being way too young and just flipping the pages. I just always look up to those women, and not just for getting to travel the world and, be a model, but for what they've done with their platform. I just really look up to so many of them. Camille Kostek, if I could be anyone, it would be her. I just love that she's taken her SI platform and she does hosting. She does so much charity work. She's still really involved with, her husband and his career, and she's just the sweetest girl ever. But I was living in LA in all of my 20s, which was so much fun. I don't regret it. I was single, having the time of my life, and modeling, acting. And every year my agencies would submit me, and obviously crickets, because they kind of, if you get scouted for that magazine, you almost have to be an Amazonian, like a gorgeous, Ellie Thuman, who is 6 feet tall, baby face, really unique look, also a heart of gold. It just wasn't going to be me. So I'm 5'7", I'm very commercial, girl next door. At least I think so in my head. And then Swim Search was launched. And so I've always been a go-getter. I joke, that's how I convinced Brooks to marry me. I made the first move on him.
I love that. I want to hear more about that later.
I played the games, but I never was too coy. He always knew where I stood. And same with Sports Illustrated. Once the Swim Search was announced, I gave it 1 or 2 years because I just wanted to see what was going on with it. And then, of course, I get married and get pregnant, and I apply for Swim Search.
Why not?
And I wasn't pregnant when I applied, but by the time I found out that I was a semifinalist, I was very pregnant, and I obviously told them, and I got to walk Miami Swim Week. I was 7 months pregnant for Miami Swim Week, which was so much fun. I felt the most confident I've ever felt because I could eat whatever I wanted. I just knew I had that cute little, big bump at the time.
That's what I wanted to ask you.
And then I shot, after that, they told me I was a rookie. That was the year that they crowned or selected every single participant to be a rookie. So I got to shoot my first time 4 months postpartum, but I worked my ass off.
Yes, you did, girl.
And I was so proud with how I looked. And then, yeah, I got to come back as Rookie of the Year and shoot again.
That's amazing. And I saw, where were you on set? There was that suit that you posted, and I don't know if it was pearls or what, but it was like the strings, and that was like my favorite suit. Where was that at?
That was in Bermuda. So my first year I shot in Cancun, and this year, God, it feels like forever ago. This year I shot in Bermuda.
How is that, like, being on set? Is there something that maybe people don't know about being there, or is there something that you didn't expect when you got there?
Yes, you might not know that, like, it's literally you fly in and out. Like, I flew in same day, had my fitting, my shoot was the next day, and you're out of there the very
Wow,
next
okay.
day.
I thought it'd be like a week-long vacation.
No, it's a job. I mean, it is like, whoa. But the other thing they don't really tell you is I shot, everybody's paired up. I was shooting with Lauren Chan, who was on the cover this year, and we didn't even know it. So it was really fun to, like, her cover image, I was like literally standing right there for it.
Oh, that's amazing.
And I think it's good vibes. Like, it makes the day go by quicker because they've got it down. I'm changing, she's shooting. As soon as she's done, it is literally so
It's like
fast.
a science. They're like in and out, get it done. How many people are there on set?
Oh my God, it's like a movie. It is literally like a movie. There's probably like 30 people. Yeah, it's wild. Like, and it's another crazy thing that you don't realize. MJ, who's the editor, love her. She's the best. She's everybody's like mom / big sister / cool aunt. She picks the pictures right then and there.
Oh, really?
Like, she goes after every single click, she's starring them. And then by the time you're on to the next bathing suit or whatever, she already has her favorites of that look. And then that night, she goes through. So, like, it's done. When I'm done,
damn, they're efficient. They're just like boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
So wait, I need to hear more about Miami Swim Week. So my goal, I'm turning 40 next year, and I'm like, that would be so badass as a 40th to like go walk and do something like that. But also, tell me about the nerves. Tell me about just like how you prepare for that. Like, I couldn't even imagine.
Well, I've been doing this my whole life. And even though Sports Illustrated carries a different weight, like, my background is pageants. So I think having that background kind of eases the nerves.
Like, of just being on stage in front of a crowd.
Yeah, I think I was more nervous because my family's in the crowd more than anything. Like, I would much rather just be a room full of strangers, like a normal runway show, you know? Like, I don't know these people. Like, you know, I'm just walking, strutting, pretending like they're not there. It's different knowing, like, you actually, because I'm not from Florida, but I live in Florida now. So it's like all of my friends from here are there. So I have like a really big cheering section, which makes me more nervous, even though I know they want nothing but for me to, you know, succeed up there. But that makes it scarier.
Oh, I can see that.
But for Swim Week, yeah, they always do something super random. Like, this past year, they had Stassi and Bethany Frankel.
Oh, can we talk about Bethany Frankel?
Remy.
Love. Yeah. Obsessed with her. Obsessed with everything she does. Was she like so fun in person?
Yeah, she's a hustler too. Like, she is cranking out the content. You know, she puts out so much content, and it was crazy to see in real time. Like, she's
amazing. I love that she took, like, going from that show to like just excelling in such an entrepreneur. But I think she's so real. Like, what I appreciate about her, she's filming all this stuff, no makeup, right? Like, just here's who I am. And I think that's why so many people relate to her. I'm obsessed with her.
She's pretty unhinged. I mean, I didn't really get to know her all that much. She had a lot of the girls, like, around her.
I'm sure you guys are so busy too. And you had crew there.
Well, we're busy, but I just kind of I don't do my own thing, but I don't know what the right word is, but I definitely talked to her, but I wasn't like all over
for
her,
sure.
You know what I mean?
But also but
she did have a lot of girls all around her at all times.
You had crew with you too, your baby. So, right? Because that's one thing you were very similar. Like, I bring my kids everywhere, and I feel like you do that as much as you can as well.
As much as I can. Yeah, that was a perfect one because, you know, it was in our home state. They drove down, and yeah, it was really cool having him there. He actually didn't get to go to the runway show because it was way past his bedtime, but he got to go to the rehearsal.
I love that.
But yeah, I think Bethany, she's so unhinged, and I think that authenticity and, like, she just doesn't give a Like, I love that. That's what I think makes her so successful, because women can relate to
I do
that.
too. And I like that she represents, like, I think a lot of us, you know, and this is kind of why I started the podcast. When you're younger, in your 20s, you're trying to like find your voice, and you're always nervous to like say the wrong thing or be too much of who you are. And I feel like she gives women a platform to be authentically you. And I think more people are like, no, this is my opinion, or this is what I have to say. And I feel like she made it, I don't want to say like a safe space, but do you know what I'm saying? Like, I think she's such like a trailblazer for that. I love her to pieces. Okay, so switching gears, because that was phenomenal, but I know.
Go for swim week. I don't have really a way to
No.
get you in there, but I'm cheering you on.
I'm just going to go walk the beach by myself during it and be like, look, I did it by myself.
I honestly think your best bet is Swim Search, because each year the finalists for Swim Search get to walk in the
when
show.
they do the elder millennial, I'm going to sign myself up for that one, right?
They do all ages. My year, there was like a girl who had gray hair in the Swim Search. Nina, I don't know if I can remember her last name, but Nina was like a retired college professor.
I love it. Okay, so you said, we talked about Brooks a little bit, and I'm going to preface the start of this interview of like, and I'm not meaning this in a mean way, I don't want to talk about your husband, because I'm married to Kyle too, and it drives me crazy when I come on podcasts and stuff, and they're like, I want to talk about your husband's career. And I was like, I don't. I'm my own person. And I think that's why I love you so much, is because you could tell you support him, and you're a mom and a wife first, but you have never lost your own identity along the way. And so I want to talk about that. Like, how do you navigate wearing all these hats?
Thank you. I think it's something that we both talked about before we got married. I think when we kind of talk about what we find attractive in the other person, something that he finds very attractive is women who have their own thing going. And that's always been me. I was raised by a single mom, and I think that's just kind of where I got my hustle mentality. Almost maybe a little too, I'm like girl boss a little too hard.
Same, girl.
You've seen those memes where it's like, I'm ready to like slow down a little bit. That's me right now. I'm kind of in my slow down era. But I still have so much of my own thing going on. And that's almost why I don't have a ton of girlfriends or girl wife friends in the golf community, is because a lot of them, their only identity is their husband. And they found success on TikTok, which I love, get your bag. But it's like their whole thing is being a golf wife. And I love that for them, but it's like, it's one of my things. And I think that's how I view motherhood, how I view my modeling career, my charity work, being a golf wife. It's like one of my passions, and they're all weighted differently. And that's just what makes me me. I would go crazy not having my own identity. I have to have my hand in a lot of
We
different
are the
fires.
same person. Like, listening to you, I'm like, we are the exact same person, because that's how I've always been. And I want to know, so on social media, I either get that, of course, and I'm sure you get this too, you're a gold digger, right? And always.
Oh,
and my question is, this is a real question. So like, who are they supposed to marry? Because like,
Right. I say that when people are like, oh, he's only with her because, or no, she's only with him because of his money. I'm like, well, he's only with her because she's hot. It's the same thing.
But I always wonder that for people. And I'm always like, guys, we've been together, let's see, 16, 17 years. I'm like, at what point are you no longer a gold digger, right? Like, we've got 2 kids. We each have our careers.
Yeah.
But then you and I are similar. We have our own career paths. And then it's like, oh, you're trying to upstage your husband, or you're a bad wife because you're doing this. I'm like, there's literally no winning. Do you feel the same way?
Yeah, I do feel that, because my fan base sort of did grow a lot after I got with Brooks. But I actually had my own thing going prior to that. And I think they thought I was born the day that I started dating Brooks. So they don't realize that I actually owned property in Atlanta before I met Brooks. I had booked like probably 200 commercials. I had booked so many movies. Like, I had an acting career prior to meeting Brooks. So yes, I literally had my own money, and I can do whatever the hell I want to with it, and I still do.
Yes.
And I
Preach.
I don't even go on the internet to defend myself in that way, because no one's ever going to believe me. But a huge part of what gets me going in the morning is the fact that, like, I do want to make my own money outside.
Yes, that's how I feel too. I'm like, I love having passions. I love that we have husbands that support us being these like crazy girl bosses at the same time. Because I feel like Kyle's the same way. Sometimes he's like, can we just not start another thing? And that's kind of what he said about the podcast. And then I was like, nope, we're doing a podcast. Here we go.
Doing it. Yeah, I love that. You're like, well, I'm doing it. I don't know about you.
No, he's
but-
nicely coming on after this because I feel like the more I rub off on him, he's becoming more open. And so that was another question is because it seems like our husbands are maybe a little more private and we're very not private. How do you guys balance that?
Brooks gives me such a long leash. Like if I was like, I'm going to New York City tomorrow, he'd be like, have fun. He gives me such a long leash. So whenever he does like draw a line in the sand, I really respect it. So, and it's so rare. Like we do have, I would say, healthy boundaries as a couple, but like one of his big ones is not showing our crew, I would say our children, but our child's face on Instagram or just publicly, really. And so I said, you know what? I can get behind that. I know that can be a slippery slope. That's risky. It's just not as like, mom influencer style where it's just all the time. It's only been like the Masters, like par 3 contest or like I did it on his birthday. I didn't even, whatever. It's just, that was something that meant a lot to him. So I think just having those clear boundaries with each other.
Yeah, poor Kyle. He doesn't, I mean, I wrote a book about essentially our sex life because of fertility. And he was like, dude, somebody came up to me today and literally was talking about my sperm with me. And I was like, yeah, but see, you're spreading male infertility awareness and you're doing such a good thing. I'm so proud of you. And he was like,
your all story is amazing. I followed you probably even before you followed me. Like I've been a part of your journey for so long.
Thank you. It was amazing. I mean, I always say that God puts you through hard times to help other people, and I wouldn't change it for the world. It was a lot over a decade, but just knowing, what it turned into with the Bundle Joy Fund and stuff, it was all worth it. I do want to ask though, because as you were just talking about, you had booked like 200 shows and commercials and everything before.
Roughly.
You just did a post and you're like, when everybody assumes I got into Happy Gilmore because of my husband.
Oh.
So talk about that because I think that's so easy for people just to say like, oh, but no, you have an agent, you had to try out. Like, tell us all about it.
So that was kind of a joke. Some of my most viral moments are like, just me posting crap that I just like don't even care about. So Brooks did help me get me into that movie. I just filmed that. Like if you listen to the audio, it's that like thank you to my man. So two things can be true. I did audition for that movie and I did actually get like placed on like a hold, which means like it's down to like you and one other person. But Brooks doesn't really like you pretty much have him pegged. Like he's private. He doesn't really care to like do anything like that. But they were really hounding him to be in that movie. And he was like, fine, I'll do it, but you have to put my wife in it too.
You know what? That shows me he's a good man.
Oh, he's a good man.
Love
he's a
that.
good man, Savannah.
I absolutely love that.
Yeah.
So how was it on set?
Oh, I worked for like 4 or 5 days. He got to be there. We got to spend basically a month in New York, which we brought crew, which was so fun. I loved it. I mean, it just felt like home for me because I hadn't booked a movie of that size in a very long time. I actually got to, help him, teach him how to read a script because he didn't know like what scene numbers versus page numbers or like how to find where his lines were, So I actually got to show him something which was really different and cool.
I love that. And now I do have a question because I see you guys travel a lot. Like you said, you brought crew to New York for a month and you guys are always traveling. So how is that for you now being a mom? Because I'll say when Kyle and I first started traveling together, you're like, I'm living the life. This is great. Yeah. And then you bring a baby into it and you're like, whoo, this got way harder. So how's it been for you guys?
We definitely pick and choose now. We have this amazing travel nanny that comes with us. And she was with us since day one. She was actually like our night nurse. And then we hired her full time because she's just she's a blast. And she's worked with other golfers before. So she actually just understands the life.
Yeah.
So if we're bringing crew, she does come on the road with us so that I can be also a wife and not just you know, because she's actually a sleep expert. She slept trained crew, so she knew how to, like, we brought him to Singapore and we brought him to Dubai with these like crazy time differences, and like she had him on the time zone before we were.
That's incredible.
So it's really fun to have her there. Like, we have wine together every night. Like, she's almost like having a friend on the road with us. But I don't think I could travel. I mean, I could. It would be really difficult to travel without her with the whole family.
Kyle and I do the same. A lot of people ask, they're like, how do you do that? And that's one thing. That's where my boundary is. Like, I will share everything. You want to talk about our sex life, you want to talk about periods, I don't care. But I draw the line at like when people want to know everything about like our nannies or who helps us, just like from a safety perspective.
Yeah.
But we travel, you know, with different people and stuff, because I think you said it correctly. Like, I want to be a mom, but I'm also there to support my husband. And you can't be two places at once, especially like when they're little and they're napping twice. You know what I mean? You're like, I want to be able to.
He's going to bed at 7 and I might have to, or I might want to go to like a dinner with Brooks.
Yes.
You know, it's very helpful to have her, and man, she's the best.
Yeah, that's one thing like a lot of people will give me like for, and they're like, oh, of course, because you have a nanny. I'm like, yeah, we do. Like, we definitely do. And I feel like we thrive because of it. Like, the children thrive, but Kyle and I do too. And that's just something that I think, like, it's fine. You know, some people choose not to, some people choose to. But for Kyle and I think that's been a way that we're able to kind of foster our marriage in the middle of all this chaos.
Oh yeah, and it's like people are always like, rely on your village. It takes a village. It takes a village. But it's like, the minute you say you have someone that you're paying,
that's not a good village. Then
it's like, oh no, that's not what I meant. That's not what I meant. Like, it has to be a grandparent in your village, you know, taking care of kids. Like, oh no, the nannies actually are more educated, have more experience than I do.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Totally. We did a sleep trainer. So we didn't do sleep training for Brexton, and that child didn't sleep through the night till he was about a year. That was hell. Yeah. And so for Lennox, we were like, definitely got a sleep trainer. And by 3 months, she slept. And even now, she still sleeps about 12 hours a night. Like, it is incredible. Yep. I'm just going to put that out there for anybody who's thinking about it. Do it. If you can do it, do it.
Yes. If you can. There's just so much negative propaganda on TikTok about it, because people think it's just like you place them in their bed and they're screaming, and that couldn't be furthest from what it actually is. But that's just what the negative Nancy's think it is.
How do you, so I feel the older I get, speaking of social media, like, I just don't care anymore. And I feel like you're the same vibe. I'm like,
I don't care at all.
That's how I am. Like, people post like, I hate that outfit. I'm like, awesome. I love it. It's kind of why I spent money on it. Thank you.
I'm just so used to the negative comments because of Brooks and his career, and people want to hate me. I already understand that going into any post that I do. They don't want to like me, because how could I possibly be attractive, funny, fun, a good wife? How could I possibly be all these things, you know? Like, I get it. I hate me too. It's just like, you got to give me a shot.
Like, I'm great. No, well, I follow you and I love you, because I just think you are doing great. And I think it's really something to show people that, like, yes, you know, regardless of what your husband and his career is, and regardless if you're a mom, like, you could still be your own person, and there's nothing wrong with that. And I think I just had another 2 girls on, and they travel, they're in country music, and we were talking about how even if you're gone or you're busy, I think the time I spend with my kids is more quality, because like, you're aware that you're gone, so you're like, I need to be extra present. Does that make sense?
100%. I tell myself every day, like, if ever, like, Brooks is with crew right now at gymnastics, and I think it's the cutest thing that we can, like, he doesn't mind doing all that. And now when crew comes home, I'll be so excited to see him. And like, definitely, like, you can't pour from an empty cup. It's like the most common, you know, parenting, mental health phrase that's out there. Like, I can't take care of crew. Like, Brooks was just gone for like 3 weeks in a row. Like, I can't wait to have like a little break from him.
Yeah, it's, like, I mean, it's hard. I completely get it. Now, do you travel full time with Brooks, or is it just you guys pick and choose what makes sense?
We pick and choose. That's, I didn't even travel full time in the beginning, because I would literally, there are wives out there, which still mind blows me, who will like miss a friend's wedding to go to a golf tournament. And I'm like, absolutely not.
That wedding.
Like, I will stay home. Like, I'm such an introvert too. And I think that the same in our marriage. Like, we wouldn't thrive off of being together 24/7.
Yeah, you need like your space.
I love that Brooks was just gone. So he just got back last night, and I can't wait to spend time with him, you know? I can always, like, even and vice versa, when I'm on the road, like, I actually spent a month with him on the road this summer because it's like a big European swing, which I'm not going to miss that. We were in Portugal and Spain and Ireland,
awesome.
Scotland, all these great places. I'm not missing that, but I could tell around like week 3, I was like, ooh, 3 weeks is about my cutoff. I need to go.
I'm ready to go home.
Yeah, we definitely, we're so independent. So it is nice to have a break from each other.
Tired of your sunglasses getting tangled in your hair every time you put them on your head? Shady Rays gets it. That's why their women's style feature tangle-free tech with nose pieces that won't snag or pull your hair or mess up that high pony. But they don't stop at comfort. Every pair is polarized, has 100% UV protection, and is built with the same high-performance materials as $200 designer shades for a fraction of the price. But here's the kicker. If you lose or break them, even on day 1, Shady Rays will send you a replacement. No drama, no guilt. So whether you're headed to brunch, the beach, or your daily errands, look good and feel even better in Shady Rays. Finally, an eyewear company that has your back. We've teamed up with Shady Rays to bring you an exclusive offer. Head to shadyrays.com and use code OVERSHARE for 35% off polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself the shades rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. Let's be honest, some of my best stories start with, "So I had a drink," and spiral from there, which is exactly why Big Rack Spirits feels like the unofficial sponsor of every unfiltered moment on this podcast. Whether it's the East Coast Cooler, Trailblazing Tangerine, or Rosie's Pink Lemonade, they make flavored vodka that goes down easier than your latest situationship. It's all natural, super smooth, and honestly, dangerous in the best way. No fake flavors, no mixers needed. Just pour, sip, and overshare. And maybe cry, obnoxiously laugh, definitely regret saying it all out loud. But hey, at least it was entertaining. Oh, and they're not just out here making delicious chaos in a bottle. Big Rack gives back too. Military charities, breast cancer foundations, real impact with every pour. So if you're gonna tell on yourself, you might as well do it with a drink that's worth it. Must be 21 or older, please drink responsibly. So out of all the places that you get to travel to, where has been like your favorite destination?
Well, for golf, honestly, I love Asia. I mean, probably Singapore. It's tropical. It's still a big city. Great shopping. I love Singapore, but personally, like the Maldives, like I'm an island girl. I need to like bake my skin in the sun.
I mean, I'm secretly asking because my 40th birthday is next year, and I'm like planning.
Yes.
I'm like, where am I going?
Well, Maldives is very romantic. That would be more of like a couple's thing.
But I feel like Kyle and I like
Gosh, for a girls' trip, Italy.
That's what
like-
we're thinking.
Like go to Italy.
we went to the Amalfi Coast last year, and it was probably the greatest 12 days of my entire life. But we did bring the kids, which good and bad, right? I don't think Europe is made for kids.
I think like the restaurants are very child friendly, but it's not made for kids.
I say that because, you know, you go to Positano with a stroller and you're like, I'm bringing this stroller up 30 flights of stairs. Like, this was a terrible idea.
Yeah. We went prior to cruise.
So I think, you know, it would be, and Brexton, I think he was too young to appreciate it. Like, he loved swimming in the Mediterranean, but like we also live on the lake, and I don't think in his mind it was any different. So I don't know. I'm trying to figure that all out. So sometimes I'm like watching your stuff. I'm like, where are they going? Would this be a 40th birthday trip?
I see. South of France.
I know that's one on there too.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll be there in 3 years. So you let me know what your research yields for you.
All right. So since this is Certified Oversharer, between everything,
I feel like we have barely scratched the surface here.
Give me some good juicy stuff. Like, I want to know how. Like, I know what we do, but like, what keeps the spark in your marriage? As he's gone 3 weeks and you're off doing all your stuff.
Yeah, it's time apart.
You're like, I really want you when you get back.
Literally, it's like missing each other. Honestly, my sister and I are so different. She's like, Jenna, your life is literally my nightmare. I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, I want a husband that doesn't travel for work, that comes home every single night. And I'm like, that is my actual nightmare.
You're like, no, thank you. I'll pass.
I love, like, I'm gonna go to LA in a couple weeks. I'm just gonna go and like maybe bring crew, and Brooks can be at home or whatever. I think we thrive off of having our own lives, but also when our lives intertwine. Like, I brought Brooks to the Victoria's Secret fashion show last year, and he came to Swim Week, and he's been to a lot of my Sports Illustrated things, and I get to go, to the Masters with him. Like, we really thrive when we're supporting each other, but we also are so successful because we do so much apart from each other.
Yeah, because it's hard. If you were always going with him, it would be very hard to build your career because their careers take up so much time. And I get that. And
people think I'm nuts for still even wanting to. I'm like, that makes my heart skip a beat. Like, I have to.
Well, it's funny because, I get the gold digger comments a lot, but then I also get from people like, well, why are you doing that? You don't need to work. And I'm like, because I want to do things that are passionate to me or to help other people. You know what I mean? I'm like, I love having my own agenda, not just theirs, So, okay, tell me.
Never gonna please them all.
Tell me mom life. Tell me everything from, obviously you were walking the runway at 7 months pregnant. So go into, I want to hear, everybody has a childbirth story, right?
Oh yeah, mine was crazy. Hear it. I'm sure everyone says that too, but mine was really crazy.
I want to hear it.
So, like yourself, we had actually experienced pregnancy loss multiple times. And so through that, I learned that I had what's called a bicornuate uterus. And that means my uterus is actually a heart shape. And so this little thing I'm giving you
I was like, how did you do that?
My uterus is giving you hearts. So this up top is called the septum. And it's literally like a heart shape. So that was basically a part of it, I guess. And so whenever I did have a successful pregnancy with crew, it was natural. That's a whole nother story. It was a natural pregnancy, but he grew on one of the sides of my uterus. He never went to the left side. He grew on my right side. He never flipped. So his head was always at the top. His feet were down. So that's breech. And I got diagnosed with fetal growth restriction, which means my uterus was cramping him and he couldn't grow any further. So that was right around the swim week time, 7 months. And so I was going in like twice a week, and they were just like, just so you know, like you might be like a little early. We don't know how early because he's not going to flip. And it's dangerous to manually try to do that because, the cord there's so many different things that could happen. So one day, Brooks was literally flying home. Actually, I think you were going to that tournament, the Greenbrier.
Yes, Kyle went to that, yeah.
Right before Greenbrier, I was 33 weeks, and my water broke in the kitchen. Thank God Brooks was home. We were just having a conversation. My water broke at 33 weeks. I missed my baby shower. I had him within like 2.5 hours. Gosh. Emergency. I say emergency. It was a semi-emergency C-section because I was in active labor. And it was crazy. He was 4 pounds, 5 ounces, and he spent the first 20 days of his life in the NICU.
Oh, sweet boy. How was that? So I'm assuming right when they go to NICU, like you're not able to hold them and do all that. So what is that feeling like?
I think it was a blessing and a major curse, obviously. But the blessing was that mentally, we weren't ready. I didn't, obviously no hospital bag packed. The nursery wasn't finished. We were so surprised by what just happened. I think having him in the NICU allowed us both to sort of heal. And literally physically, because I had a C-section. And I didn't know what that really entailed. That wasn't even on the cards for me. It was such a quick, the whole thing was so fast. So yeah, they did put him on my chest, but they knew that he was gonna have to go to the NICU. So I didn't get much time at all. It was maybe 30 seconds. It was more or less like, okay, now I have to take him away. And I was like, okay. Honestly, I think I handled it as best as I could. I didn't get to hold him until maybe 2 days later, which, I've spent so much of my life in therapy. I just know that everything happens for a reason. Roll with the punches. I didn't have a birth plan. Like, I'm not one of those like super controlling types. I was like, I just want it to happen. I want everyone to be healthy. You know, whatever's going to happen is going to happen. And it really taught me to just kind of roll with the punches. But I was in the hospital for like 4 or 5 days. So I got to go and see him. And then once I went home, the hardest part actually was going home without my baby.
Right, I'm sure.
Now that was a mind that was crazy, because Jupiter Med here, it's like a baby factory. So I'm in there waiting for Brooks in my little wheelchair, and there's moms just going out with their babies left and right. And I'm sitting here with like all my flowers and balloons, and I'm just like, no kid though. And I just felt, I know no one was like looking at me because everyone's having their own moment. But I just felt like, oh man, like this sucks.
That must have been
like,
so, I was saying mentally that had to be so difficult.
That was the, and I do then I take a step back and go, Jena, there are mothers who literally have this experience and don't get to go back for their babies. So, you know, it's all about perspective. We pretty much did turn right back around because the NICU is 24/7. So we went back and we could spend time with crew in the NICU, and we could like hold him eventually, you know, pretty much as we wanted within reason, as long as his vitals are okay and all that. But yeah, he spent 20 days there. Wow. And once he got home, he was honestly totally fine. He just needed to grow a little bit more in the little, you know, incubator thing.
And now I know you talked about having losses beforehand. How long was that? How was that on you and your marriage? And I know, you know, when we went through it, it was like you're dealing with all this pain inside, but then you still have to put on this public persona that everything's okay. Yeah. Or, you know, Kyle had to go race, same Brooks has to go play. So how did that all go for you guys?
Oh my gosh. I think the first time I didn't even know I was pregnant. So that the first time, you know, you don't really think about a miscarriage as like, is ever going to happen to you. So the first time I was like, wow, this period's a little heavy. What's going on? And so then I called because I was like, okay, this is crazy. This is like,
there's too much blood, too much stuff. Like something's wrong.
Yeah. And they were like, take a pregnancy test. I'm like, you're kidding me. Like, no. And it was positive. And I was like, oh my God. So that was more a shock.
Wait, were you guys actively trying at that point, or were you actively preventing?
That was a surprise. Well, yeah, birth control, like the pill. I was on the pill.
Oh my gosh.
But who knows? I mean, I probably wasn't taking it at the right time every day.
Okay, so still on the pill it happened. So that was my question. Because like I've had friends that, you know, they're not trying, but they're not trying. So I was just curious what it was. So yeah, that had to be a huge shock if you were on the pill.
Very surprising. Wow. So that, if I'm being completely honest, it didn't take too much of a toll on me because it was more of a shock value. And we were both not ready to have kids at that point. We were a lot younger. We were a lot younger. So I would say the one that hurt the most was like right after we got married, when we first started trying. It was like we got pregnant immediately after our wedding. And that one, we were so excited. And I was like, that loss was tough. I had to do the DNC. He wasn't even home. I think it was a tournament week. That was tough. That was more or less like, ooh, you know, this could have been our first kid. Like, you know, we were like mentally in a place to have a baby. But again, therapy works wonders, you know, just learning that it's nothing I did wrong, nothing I could have done to prevent it.
And I find the DNC is difficult too, because I've had both, like where I miscarried at home, which leads to its own set of traumas. But the DNC, I don't know. I don't know if it's because I was further along, or it was like the extra stress of like having to go into the hospital, and then it's just so sterile. I don't know. I really, it took me a while, also in therapy, to work through that.
Yeah. And then the other one was at home. I think each time I never got that far. I'm not sure how far along you were, but I never made it. I never saw a heartbeat. I think also there was not that connection. Like, I feel like once you see that heartbeat in the ultrasound or see the baby moving in the ultrasound, you're like, whoa, this is real. All of the times was so early. So I didn't get that like connection yet.
So Crew
You know,
was
I think if I was later, it would be
Crew
harder.
was completely like not IVF or anything like that. And so you think
Mm-mm.
that maybe the other ones had to do something with how your uterus was shaped and how the baby was sticking, maybe because you like to something.
Well, I have this other
Okay.
thing. I have so many
Oh,
complications. It's called factor five. It's a blood clotting gene. It's actually like a gene in my body that's hereditary. My dad has it. So my dad had a really bad blood clot when I was in college, and he did not know he had it. So because he had this blood clot, he's fine now, thankfully. Me and my sister got tested, and we both have it. And so the doctor was like, this actually affects what type of birth control they need to be on. I can't take Advil.
interesting.
Because there's like so many different things. So I'm actually on like, whenever I am pregnant, I'm on a blood thinner. It's the shots. I don't know if you've seen girls having to do that. It's called Lovenox. A girlfriend of mine actually had to do it. So prior to Crew, I didn't know that I also needed to be on a blood thinner when I got
Yeah.
pregnant. So there was not, the doctor eventually told me that there was not enough blood flow from my body to my uterus. So now that learned I needed to get on the blood thinner, that's when I had a successful pregnancy.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Isn't it crazy?
Yeah.
I know. I think, in school we learn like, oh, don't do this because you'll get pregnant. I'm like, I think we need to start educating girls on like, here's how hard it can be to get pregnant, and here's the things that you need to
Literally. And
ask.
stay
Yeah, or
pregnant.
like here's
Yeah.
things that you need to ask about your body, because I feel like so many of us were just thrown on birth control or like not explained like this is a condition you might have. This is what might be in your future. Like I think that that's something so big. That's like a whole nother soapbox that I can get on. But
Totally.
anyways, I am so glad that everything worked out. And do you guys think, like, because I think this is a fair question with your lifestyle, like, do you want more kids? Or are you content with one? Yeah, more.
I really do. We're tossing out like how many we want to have because I'm getting old.
No, we're not. We are
Yeah.
not getting old.
I definitely want one
Yeah.
more. Yeah, I do. I want a girl.
Girls,
But,
yeah.
you know,
Girls are fun. I mean, my daughter, she's a mini me, like to go out to.
yeah,
She really is. Like she has to
It's
be in
cute.
full glitter, jewelry, lip gloss to go out on pit road. But then at the same time, she's like Kyle and she's racing cars with her brother. So yeah,
I
it's
love that.
best of both
Yeah,
worlds.
no, we're talking about it. We're like, it's time because you don't want the age gap to be
7 years
that's
like us. Yeah.
Oh, are they
7
Yes.
years.
Wow. Okay. Wow. You had a lot going on in
Yeah.
between.
So when Kyle is almost 7 years younger than his brother, I'm 7 years older than my brother. And so is this joke where like we don't want our kids 7 years apart. But we always say that like God laughs at man's plans because our kids,
Yes, I literally said
Yes.
that earlier today. Man plans, God laughs.
our kids are 8 days apart from being 7 years apart. So yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Everyone jokes I'm going to have a boy because Brooks is one of two boys and his dad is one of two boys. And so it's like, you're going to have but my dad had two girls. So I'm like,
You're like, I got
don't
50-50 shot.
know. Literally.
But I do want to, before we wrap up, because I know you do a lot of philanthropy work, and I would love to kind of learn more about that. And for anybody listening, so if you can please just talk about that, because I think that's so amazing.
Yeah, so I started the Pageant of Hope when I was 15. So we
15?
just celebrated our 25th anniversary, which is crazy. Or 20th, sorry.
Girl, you have
Pageant of
hustled
Hope.
your
So
whole life.
I literally have. Yeah, girl boss, a little too close to the sun. Yeah, so Pageant of Hope, it's a pageant. It's part of my why for Sports Illustrated, actually, because our missions are a big focus on inner beauty, self-confidence, and I am actually the most inclusive pageant in the world, like SI being one of the most inclusive magazines in the world. But it's actually a pageant for kids with special needs, kids facing challenges. It actually started out as a pageant for children with cancer, but I since branched on because it was really hard in the beginning to find enough kids to participate because they were in the hospitals or had so many different hurdles. So now I partner with so many different organizations around here, but we do their hair, we do their nails, we do their makeup, and we do a whole entire pageant, and every single participant gets crowned a winner.
I love that.
That's what makes it unique, because it's the only pageant where everybody wins. Everybody gets like their own title, and I've had it all over the world.
Really?
I mean, now that I'm a mom, I kind of keep it close to home, but we've been to Africa a few times, Cuba, we've been to Ukraine, which is kind of wild, Guatemala.
That's incredible.
So many different states. Yeah, I've been to North Carolina, I've been to Raleigh, probably the closest one to you.
Wow.
Yeah, it's one of my passions. Like it's like the very first thing I ever started on my own.
I mean that you kept it going 20 years, you said?
20. Yeah, last year was our 20th, so this will be our 21st
That is
year. No, this coming year.
Incredible.
Yeah.
That is amazing. I love that for you guys.
Thank you.
Well, I just want to say thank you so much for all of your time. This was
Oh my God, yeah, it was fun to chat. I never really, honestly, haven't shared that much about our pregnancy journey. So thank you for giving me the opportunity.
Yes, well, and seriously, whenever you guys, if you ever come back to golf, because I know it's funny when I asked you, I'm like, do you go to this thing? Because it's kind of like when people ask me about races, I'm like, oh no, we don't race that series or that. So if you guys are ever in North Carolina or we do race, let's see, if you're in Florida, we race Daytona and Homestead if you guys ever want to come.
I would love to go to a Daytona race. I think I would really thrive there because I'm from Georgia. I feel like my redneck roots would really serve me there.
You guys should come to the 500. It's in February. I mean, I'm sure you're super busy, but it is so much fun. I tell people the Daytona 500 out of any other race, like you walk in and there's just such an energy there. I'm sure there's golf tournaments like that. Like
the Masters, it's just
yes, you just walk in, and even though I've been going for literally more than 15 years, it's just every time I get so excited, like a true race fan. I'm like, this place isn't it scares the out of me because it's Daytona, but I'm like, it's also incredible and there's so much history and there's just an electricity in the air, I feel like, on the 500 day.
And you're rocking your Alexander crop top. I literally live for your outfits. I love it so much. I wish you're so lucky because you get to wear high heels. I don't get to do that in the golf world. So I'm like, man, that's awesome.
Wait, no, we do have to talk about that because I dress so extra because I'm in my I don't give a shit era. Do you get hate for that too?
I'm in that era, but I still have to wear flats because I'm walking 5 miles, 6 miles in a round.
But you do, I love, you wear some awesome stuff. And I love that you do some fun videos. You just did that one. You're like, I did it too. Am I too old to be here? But am I?
Oh, yes. I beg those girls. I was like, can we please, I don't care what we do, please do this sound with me because they're all Gen Z.
I love it.
That was fun. That was I was so proud that we pulled that off. We spent hours. We each brought our own ideas to the table and we're we're going to have a content day and we just cranked it out.
That is so smart. So do you guys have a lot of downtime then? Sorry, I know I said that we were going, but is there?
Oh, you're fine. Yes, we do. Because tournaments are, for those major ones, just Thursday through Sunday, but we get there on Monday. So I have basically Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday to just mess around.
Do you guys stay in hotels? Because we stay in our motorhome. Where do you guys stay?
Oh, different. No. So it depends. If I'm bringing the family, we rent a house. Otherwise, there is a host hotel. But Brooks, we travel with a chef.
Oh, cool.
So we typically rent homes. Yeah.
I actually now with kids prefer Airbnb it because I like my own kitchen in the morning because also I'm not spending $70 on my kids' breakfast at a hotel. I think it's absolutely ridiculous. I'm you're eating a freaking pancake. I'm not spending this much money. So I love doing a house because I also love to cook. So, but I just feel with kids to have that space too. Because especially with two of them, I'm in a hotel room, they're going to kill each other. Literally. Yeah.
Even crew gets a little stir crazy in a hotel and you got to get him out. And Brooks travels so much. He travels, I don't even know.
That was my question. What is your guys' season? Is it almost year round?
LIV is 14 weeks, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it's because it's 7 days in the week. It can add up. And then Brooks is playing some fall events, which aren't associated. So he does end up traveling more than 14 weeks a year. And that's why we like to rent homes because it just feels like some sort of normalcy versus walking into a room,
yes. Oh, yeah. All right. Well, I'll let you go since the family's there.
Yeah. Everyone just walked in.
No, you're all good. Thank you. Okay, you know when you've followed somebody for years and you finally get to like meet them or talk to them and you're like, man, I hope they're gonna be as great as they are on social. Well, I think we can all agree Jena is so freaking fabulous. I'm so pumped that I got to have this conversation with her. I got to learn a lot about their pregnancy journey, but just also what a true girl boss she is and how she's always supportive and she's always like a cheerleader for not only her husband, but just other women from Sports Illustrated to the pageants, and I absolutely adore her. So that was a great discussion. I want to say to you guys, be sure if you are following along, please like, review, comment, whether it's on YouTube or anywhere that you get your podcasts. That really helps us get the podcast out and connect with other women. Also follow us along on all social media. We're at Cert Oversharer. You'll get to see some behind the scenes stuff that you might not get to see on YouTube and other platforms. So that's always fun. Okay, also be sure if you guys want to call or text the hotline, I am dying to have some oversharing conversations with you all, whether it's an unhinged marriage story, birth story, anything that pertains to womanhood. You can call or text 704-765-2477. I think that this is a great way that we can build this community and have these resources and support for other women, because look, life as a woman is hard. It can be messy, there's chaos, but it can also be beautiful when we all band together as a community. So give me a call or a text so we can have these certified oversharer discussions. See you next time, guys.